Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the American Nightmare Podcast. This is episode 48, recorded March 24th, 2022.
Woohoo!
Yay! All right. All right. All right. Let's get this show on the road. We'll start off with some horror news.
A lot of good stuff coming around.
Yeah. All right, we got some bad news first. Morbius early reactions calls the Sony movie messy, confused, and a bunch of garbage.
What? I'm shocked. I'm shocked, I tell you.
Sony does it again, takes an awesome Marvel property and just rips it apart with shit. I'm sure it'll still sell, $200-300 million, just like that shitty.
The trailer looked junky, too.
Like Venom and Venom 2.
Venom and Venom 2 did outrageously great, and the scripts were horrible, the movies were trash, and I'm sure this will be the same and still do well. But MovieWeb is reporting that some early viewers have seen it and says it's a mess. The movie doesn't know what universe it or its characters coexist with. This is nearly, the quote says, I've seen the nearly final cut of Morbius. It's a messy film. It doesn't know what universe it's in or what characters it coexists with. It definitely isn't a well-oiled machine that the MCU is. Ugh. So some people are going to like it. Most people are going to be hard to get behind this film. All the early reactions seem to be less than lukewarm for this movie, it seems.
Shocked.
And did I not predict that?
Yeah, good old Sony.
They even did reshoot after reshoot after reshoot. It went through 4 different test audiences and had to be reshot and rearranged multiple times, and it's still trash. The latest rumor that I read today says that the trailer is a lie.
Yeah, because the trailer actually does look pretty good.
Well, they're saying that in the trailer, when you see the posters of Spider-Man, those have been all removed from the film. Also, you saw the Vulture not in the film.
What?
Yep, they removed him from the film.
Was it Michael? Wasn't Michael? Was he Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it was Michael Keaton.
They show him in the film going, oh, it's Dr. Michael Morbius.
Yeah.
Not in the film.
Oh, man. The old bait and switch.
The old fuck you, people. All right. Well,
I'll wait till it's free to watch it.
Exactly. I'm not spending my money on the theater to watch that.
Yeah.
Scream 6 director Tyler Gillett says that the new sequel will risk it all. This movie is willing to risk all in order to subvert all the expectations for the next film.
I'm intrigued.
We are so far down the rabbit hole of Scream movies that it will end up all up for grabs at this point, says the director.
I thought that the most recent one was really good. I liked it. You guys watch? You liked it?
Very entertaining. I enjoyed it.
I liked it. It was a good. It kept one foot in the past, but they refreshed it and made it good. It was a good balance. Some of these new movies that are requels don't do it so good. I thought they did a good job with it.
Is there a lot of kills? Fantastic. Is there a lot of kills in the new one?
Yeah, some good kills.
Very good.
And they also pay homage to the original. There's some scene for scene kind of stuff. It's almost like
don't spoil it for him, man.
Yeah,
you gotta watch it. It's good. It's definitely worth watching.
And it's on Paramount Plus, I think, right?
Yep. Evil Dead, the video game, has just showed off a new commercial and video with the Kandarian demon gameplay.
It looks really good.
Looks fucking amazing. I cannot wait for this game. They've delayed it so many times. There better be no excuses. This thing better be a great game.
Did you see the mini ashes?
Yes.
That looked awesome, man.
I loved it.
The little mini ashes come out, and supposedly there's something about the mini ashes or something similar in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, nice.
Not ashes, but I think maybe mini Doctor Strangers or something.
Yeah, that would be fucking great. Let me tell you something. That new Kandarian gameplay also shows you can possess trees as a bad guy. You can possess the car. You can possess inanimate objects.
You can possess Ash.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a fucking amazing game, and I can't wait for the multiplayer version and getting to be a good guy or bad guy, and the trailer looks amazing.
To be Henrietta?
Oh yeah.
It does look good. I can't wait. 2 more months.
2 more months. Let's hope they don't push it back any further. I did order the collector's edition. I didn't get the one with the Necronomicon, unfortunately, but I got the next lower one.
Same here. It's got like a T-shirt, some
extra costumes for your character or whatever.
Yeah, one Tom Savini inspired costume.
That's awesome. Love that. New movie Monstrous, starring Christina Ricci, was acquired by Screen Media and gets a Friday the 13th release date.
Oh, nice.
This one looks like it's going to be a pretty decent little horror film.
Is there a trailer out for it?
There's no trailer yet.
Okay.
This is going to appear in a... I can't remember, and I didn't write it in my notes. I don't know why I didn't write that, but it's going to appear in some movie festival.
Okay.
And apparently there was like a pre-screening, and that's where the Screen Media picked it up and said, you know what, that's good. We'll take that one.
Nice.
Which is awesome. Good distribution. It looks like it's going to be available in a lot of different regions, so that's going to be awesome.
Monstrous.
About 2 months ago, we talked about a new werewolf movie, The Cursed, which didn't do so good in theaters, obviously, because we're still in the middle of a pandemic and not a lot of people are still going. Like, if you're going to see Spider-Man, you're going to make billions of dollars because everyone was dying for that type of movie. Mm-hmm. But it's a little indie film of werewolves called Cursed. Didn't do so well. Well, now it's available on video on demand. According to Amazon.com's website, you can now order this for digital review or rental.
Cool.
It is not free on any streaming service yet. This is just for rental and ownership. It's both available on, it looks like Amazon. I found it on Apple. Looks like that's it right now. Vudu. I guess there's a couple places it's available. So I'm interested in seeing it. I'm going to wait until it comes free on like Netflix or something like that. Maybe it'll be on HBO or something. Who knows?
Yeah, Halloween Kills just popped up on HBO.
Yeah. My daughter just told me.
So I'll watch it now that it's free. Well,
yeah, there you go. Watch it for free. Do that.
It's the only one I didn't see. I told you it was the only one I didn't see.
It's worth watching for free.
Yeah.
And it's got some good kill scenes in it. It really does.
It's just not a great movie overall.
No.
Yeah. Michael Patrick Jan to direct the Western horror film Oregon Trail for Paramount Pictures. That's right. You heard of the Oregon Trail, but this is the Oregon Trail.
You die of dysentery on this one too?
Yeah, actually, it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent slasher film. Western migration slasher film. It looks pretty good.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
That's a area of history that hasn't been explored.
Unexplored slasher genre.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely watch that.
It's like the Ponderosa, but with slashers.
You get Jason Voorhees with the hockey mask and then like a cowboy hat on.
Instead of a 6-gun, he can have a machete on each hip. Yeah, so that one looks like it might be good. I don't know. There's no trailer or any real additional information at this time, but it looks like it's going to be right on the Paramount Plus streaming service.
Cool.
There's no date I didn't see here. So we'll see. We'll keep up with that one. Maybe next month I'll have a date available. According to Screen Rant, Doctor Strange 2 will make Evil Dead fans happy, says Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige stated that Raimi was allowed quite a bit of free reign in the film and described the movie as a very Sam Raimi film, adding that it will make fans of Evil Dead 2 very happy. Wow. It's unclear exactly what this will mean for the film, however, but it certainly has people speculating. My understanding from a leaked copy of the screenplay is that in the commercial, when you see the undead Doctor Strange, it is in fact the celestial form, or what's that? When you get knocked out of your body.
Oh yeah.
He possesses the corpse of the dead Doctor Strange, Defender Strange. So hey man, Evil Dead.
Sweet.
I'm excited for this. They announced yesterday 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's like
time.
one of the longest ones.
Yes, one of the longest Marvel movies to date. Let's hope they don't bite off more than they can chew. Ben Stiller is in talks to star in Ivanhoe stage adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining.
Yes.
Rehearsals are set to begin this fall in the London West End theater area, and performances are targeted to start January 2023, with an eventual move to Broadway is expected shortly thereafter.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah, I'm interested to see a stage adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining, and to see Ben Stiller as the star character.
Yeah, right?
Might be interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a serious role that I can recall.
No.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah. Evil Dead Rise, the new Evil Dead movie, has been rated R for bloody violence and gore.
Yeah.
Finally, a synopsis of the movie has been published, and let's talk about it. A road-weary Beth pays an overdue visit to her older sister, Ellie, who is raising 3 kids on her own in a cramped L.A. apartment. The sisters' reunion is cut short by the discovery of a mysterious book deep in the bowels of Ellie's building, giving rise to flesh-possessing demons, thrusting Beth into a primal battle for survival, and she's faced with the most nightmarish version of motherhood imaginable.
Nice. I saw it's going to be released on HBO Max, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, straight to
Sweet.
I believe it's going to be a HBO Max and theater together.
theater release. Yeah.
Sweet.
What's the
That
release
picture-
date? Did they say the release date?
No
on it, or-
release date yet. No.
Not
release
yet.
date
It should be soon, though, right? Like, I would think it.
The screening that I saw, like, it was a nearly done movie, so I'm going to say that, yeah.
And they've given it a rating, so, it's
pretty much done, right?
Yeah, so
I'm pretty
maybe
sure
within
you
the
wouldn't
next
go
couple
for
months.
rating until you finished everything, right?
Right. So maybe the next month or two, or
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is out for blood as Dracula on the New Orleans set for Renfield. So on Twitter, we now see, and People Magazine posted a whole story about Nicolas Cage appearing as Dracula, and his makeup looks ridiculous, and I'm sure this is going to be a ridiculous comedy horror that is going to be well worth watching, because Nicolas Cage is a master thespian.
Yeah, and he does ridiculous well.
Yeah. If you need a role to be overacted and exaggerated, he's your man. And I think this will be good.
Indeed.
That is all that I have. Do you guys have any other news that you'd like to discuss?
I just got 2 things. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for Men, the A24 movie that's coming out with Jesse Buckley in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Looks
Yep.
creepy, like it's a period piece, I think. Looks
Yeah.
and I just saw a trailer today for a movie called Deep Hatred, which
Haven't seen that.
it just got released on video on demand. It's a girl who goes back home to her father's commune. Her father just died, and it's got
Yeah.
like some looks like paranormal entities or something like that.
Okay.
It looks pretty creepy, and that just was released I think yesterday on video on demand. I'm not sure which service, but it looks good.
Now, I haven't seen the trailer for Men. Someone said that's a shapeshifter movie. Is that what that is?
Well, it's hard to tell from the trailer.
Okay.
It was just the trailer was just released today.
Okay.
And to me, I don't know, man. She is in
That's
this house.
Naomi Pace too, right? Yeah.
I don't know. She's the only female I saw in the trailer.
However you pronounce her name, was it Numi Rapace or something?
Yeah. There was a whole bunch of dudes in it, and just she's the only female I saw. I didn't see anything that led me to. I mean, maybe they're trying to keep that under wraps as to what actually is happening, because it's an A24 movie, so you might not get a whole glimpse in the trailer of what's going on. It looks good though.
They do have a summary on the website. It says, in the aftermath of a personal tragedy, Harper retreats alone into the beautiful English countryside, hoping to find a place to heal. However, someone or something from the surrounding woods appears to be stalking her. What begins as a simmering dread soon becomes a fully formed nightmare, inhabited by her darkest memories and fears.
Yeah, it looks good. Like it's a cool looking trailer.
Nice.
Definitely got an
Yeah,
A24 kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, speaking of A24, the writer-director of Mandy has a new movie coming
Yeah,
out,
I
too.
saw that too.
What's
It's
that
going to be
one?
like an intergalactic,
Yeah.
not love story, but like man and woman kind of separated by like some crazy shit going on.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
called
it's
like
got like a
Necrominus or
yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
something like that. It looks it. I read the trailer, the synopsis too, and it looked pretty good. It sounded pretty good, I
Yeah.
guess.
And the movie
Should say.
X, I think, looks awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that come out
Insane.
this week? Is that
I
this week?
believe
think
that's
so.
this Friday, right?
Yeah.
That looks
Tomorrow.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have. I've been watching that.
Oh, it's out now. It's available now. I'm looking
oh,
at the
nice.
theater right down the street from me. The first showing is tonight at 5. So
Sweet.
Okay, cool.
nice. All right.
I've been watching that Korean zombie series. We Are All Dead on Netflix, and that's it's decent. It started out really good. It's kind of dragging a little bit now. Seems to be a little bit monotonous, but it's enough to keep me interested and keep going because I think I only have like 4 episodes left. But it's good.
All right. Awesome. All right. So now our new feature: 5 great flicks on a streaming service right now. Chris, you said you got something. What do you got?
Yeah, I got Netflix. I mean, Netflix has an abundance of great new and classic horror movies currently. So there's a 5 recommended movies to watch if you haven't seen them or want to revisit them. They're currently on Netflix. Number 5, Gremlins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, classic '80s horror flick. Number 4, the original Pet Sematary movie.
Nice.
Um,
Love that movie.
Much better than the remake. Still not what some fans of the book would like, but
Definitely better than the remake.
that movie holds a special place in my heart because we used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. Number 3, It Follows,
Oh,
which
yeah,
was
great
a-
one.
such a interesting, refreshing movie. Like it was
That
something
was
that I had.
surprising. Yeah, I was surprised at how good that movie was when I was.
Yeah, that's currently available on Netflix. Number 2, the Fear Street trilogy. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we've talked about that before, but it's such a great set of movies.
Aren't they
If
talking
you haven't
about
seen it
doing
yet,
some more of those too, or
yeah, I think they're
isn't
supposedly
there
going to
more
do it
books?
like, yeah, not on the same like topic, but like some more of his
Yeah.
books for older
Yep.
teens or whatever.
Yep.
And the number 1 movie that I recommend you watch on Netflix is the original Nightmare on Elm Street is currently on there, and
Oh,
can't go wrong there. I'm sure most of you who listen to this show have seen it already, but if you haven't seen it in a while and are looking to revisit it, or on a Friday or Saturday night, or looking for some horror movie just to kick back and relax to, you can't go wrong with the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
nice. Very good.
Yeah, and there's tons on there, but those were the 5 that I picked out of what I had seen on there.
Nice. Very good. Awesome. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. So now let's move along to our top 5. The top 5 this month is the top 5 horror movies about bands that could be fictional or real bands. And the list goes Craig, Sal, Chris.
This was at first when you said this list, I was like, have I seen that many? And then the more I started looking, I was like, okay, I did see this one, and so I have a list. I was
No.
worried.
I have 5. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I think I had 7 total that I remember watching, and I told
Yeah.
Sal I watched one the other night just because I wanted to add one more that I could say that I saw.
Yep.
I got to say that this
There's
genre,
probably going to be one. Yeah, Sal's probably going to drop one or two that I've
Dude,
seen and I
this
totally
is-
forgot about.
This genre for me in the early to mid 80s and the late 90s was like the fucking best. So
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great newer stuff too.
There is a lot of great newer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Craig, get us started.
All right. So my number 5 was a movie probably not very many people saw, but it was called Shock 'Em Dead. It was early 90s, and the
remember
only
that
reason
one.
I watched it because it had Tracy Lords in it.
Yep.
The
When
movie
she went
was-
legit.
Yeah, exactly. But the movie itself was god-awful terrible.
It was horrible.
Yep.
It was
Yeah, but
less
sometimes
than a B
horrible's
movie.
good.
It was less than a B movie.
Yeah, it was really bad. Number 4, I went with Studio 666.
Nice.
The
Nice.
newer movie. Number 3, I went with Deathgasm.
I fucking love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good
really
pick.
good.
Good pick.
Number 2, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Woohoo!
I don't know that one.
That one's complete
No.
trash.
Oh god.
Complete trash.
Kiss made a horror movie?
Dude,
Yeah.
in the early 70s.
It wasn't
man.
really a horror. I mean, it was
so
It
shit.
was like some robots and
Dude.
Yeah.
It was the worst. Like,
It
dude,
was like this mad scientist. Yeah, it was like a mad scientist that worked for an amusement park. Like he was in charge of like animatronics.
It's like a Scooby Doo episode.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Even
Yes.
more than that. Dude, even more than that. It wasn't a movie that went to theaters. This was a movie that was made for ABC television.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Oh.
And they all
I had
these-
it, yo.
yeah.
I had it on VHS when I was a teenager because
Yeah,
I
no, I-
loved everything Kiss, and to me it was like it was shit. And all the rumors about how like Ace Frehley would show up drunk and couldn't speak his lines. Peter Criss would show up high and couldn't speak his lines, so there were the voiceovers for Peter Criss
Yeah,
wasn't
you can hear
even
'em.
wasn't even his voice because he was
Yeah.
too high to fucking
Oh
to
my
film
god,
his
that's
scenes.
crazy.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Nice, that's a good one.
And number 1, I went with Trick or Treat.
I love that. That's my favorite. That's my
Yeah.
favorite one, and it's also my favorite soundtrack for a horror movie too.
Yep, for sure.
All right, awesome.
Oh, that's it. That's
Yeah, I
all
think you've mentioned. I think you've mentioned that
Trick or
soundtrack
Treat
a
a
lot.
million times. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Fast Way made an entire album for that movie, and it's just Fast Way
That's
is a
when
great band.
I saw that one in the movie theater when I was young
Yeah,
too.
love that one. Love that one.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Now it's my turn. I'm going to start with my number 5 is Black Roses. I remember renting this one on VHS back in 1989. My
Jeez,
aunt
don't
was
know
staying
that
over
one
at my aunt's house, and
I want to say
my-
I saw that one, Sal. Yeah.
yeah, like the cover had like these eyes and a guitar with like roses.
Yeah,
listed
yeah,
up
yeah.
it. I just
No, I
remember,
remember.
looking at the cover and it was like 3D and going,
Yeah.
"Oh, let's rent that one," and it was shit. It was a horrible
Shit,
movie,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
but it was funny. It was part of the '80s Satanic Panic movies, you know, where it's like
Yeah.
a band
Yeah.
run by Satan enslaving children.
Nice.
My number 4 is Deathgasm.
Yep.
Great
Again,
flick.
just a great flick. I love that flick.
That was
Uh,
Australian too, wasn't it?
Yep,
Or no?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My number 3, Uncle Peckerhead.
That's a good one.
Fucking
That's a good
Uncle,
one.
that.
Uncle
It's-
Peckerhead is
It
so
was on my
fucking
list
funny.
of things to watch. I didn't see that one.
And
Yeah.
it was funny and like good gore, but it also was like a good like move. Like it was a good like you were rooting for the band, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that's listed as a horror comedy, right?
Yes,
Maybe that's
yes,
why
it
I
is.
didn't-
Yeah,
you
it's
know
a horror
I
comedy.
think I've figured out that a lot of rock and roll band horrors are comedies. Most
Comedy,
of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most
Yeah.
of them.
Any of them that try to be serious, just it doesn't work out.
Well, yeah, true.
My number 2, Studio 666,
Nice.
and my number 1, Trick or Treat. Now
Awesome.
I do have 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
My number 1 is Blood Tracks.
No, I don't know that one.
That one's a pretty good one. That's early 90s. Green Room, that was from the 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was
yes.
pretty
There's
good.
one there. See, there's one that I totally forgot about. That
Mhm.
was good.
And another one from the early 90s and late 80s, Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yes, dude, that movie's so cheesy, so cheesy. It's I think that they did that on what's that show that they used to do with the little puppets like talking
Mystery
about?
Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, I think they did that on there.
they
Oh,
did.
geez.
They did.
It's such a cheesy
It is
like.
the cheesiest, unbelievable thing. But that's what makes it so endearing. Is so fucking cheesy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's so bad that you can't not like it because it's so bad. Like, and the
how
great thing
shocking
about it
it
is
is,
there's
too.
tons of titties in it. There's tons of titties in the movie.
Again, you know what makes a great movie? That when it's a really shitty movie, but there's tons of titties to make up for it, and that was
Yeah.
definitely one of them.
Dude, I think the weirdest part of that movie was the end. It was like a homoerotic demon wrestling match. The lead singer like stripped down in like a spangly like silver like cod piece and wrestled that puppet.
Dude, that puppet was the fucking most ridiculous thing ever. That's why I had to put it on my honorable mentions, because it's one of those films that it wasn't good by any measure. But
Was that supposed to be Satan? That
Dude,
puppet?
I think so. I watched that movie at least 3 times because once I saw it, I'm like, I saw my friends. I'm like, dude, you gotta see this movie. You've got to see
Yeah.
this movie. It is fucking ridiculous.
It's one of those ones that it's like a cult classic because
Exactly.
it's just so
Exactly.
it's so horrible and there's such cheesy lines in it. Like
The special
it's-
effects were absolute trash. Like the whole thing was really trash.
Those little like weird puppet gremlin things or whatever they were, like yeah. It was that was like what 87, 88?
It was mid 80s, late 80s. I thought it was like 88 or.
I think that's one of those ones that I liked the cover when I saw it at the video store, and it
That's
was
why
rock
I
and
rented-
roll.
Dude, that's why I rented it, because I thought, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then when I watched
Yeah.
it, I was so fucking disappointed.
It's like rock and roll and it's horror. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
This
Fuck,
band
it's
is going to go to
garbage.
recording studio and they powered by Satan. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was garbage.
Satan looked like a Pez dispenser.
All right, man. Chris, your turn.
Okay, so I just thinking about that shitty movie. So my number 5 is Studio 666. Craig and I actually just went to see that last week. We're going to be talking about that movie a little bit later. That was my number 5. My number 4, Uncle Peckerhead.
It's a funny movie. I liked it.
It was funny, and the guy who played Uncle Peckerhead, how could you not like that guy? And he was like their bodyguard. I mean, even though he ate people, like he was.
But he never ate the band. He was always there for the band.
Right. And then he wasn't supposed to eat other people, but he's a monster. Like what the hell?
Exactly.
Number 3, Suck. Have you guys seen the movie Suck?
No.
It's from 2009. It's got Iggy Pop in it. It's got Malcolm McDowell. It's got Alice Cooper. It's got Moby.
Really?
It's a good flick. It's about a goth band who kind of sucks, and then their lead guitarist is a hot chick who gets eaten by a vampire and becomes a vampire herself, and then the band becomes really popular.
Interesting.
Yeah, Alice Cooper plays Satan in it, and
Nice.
Iggy Pop plays he's like their spiritual guide, and it's a good movie. It's kind of like Uncle Peckerhead, whereas they travel around, and it's got like fucked up like special effects, but it's on purpose that they're fucked up. Like they got a rubber bat flying through the sky, but
Nice.
it's supposed to. It's cheesy on purpose, and the soundtrack's actually pretty good too. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I got to check that one out. I've not seen that one.
Number 2 is Deathgasm, which you guys also had on your list.
Movie.
Like,
Great movie.
also like a pretty good soundtrack. Like, and some really good gore. Like, I really enjoyed
a lot of gore, right?
my favorite was the scene where they were killing the demons with like the vibrators and the dildos and he was using the anal beads as like nunchucks and shit.
Yep.
Like I said, I think most rock and roll horror movies were comedies.
Because if you try to take it seriously, it just doesn't work. I mean, Black Roses, the what was the one I'm getting old. Rock and Roll Nightmare, all those movies.
Yeah, and my number 1 is an exception to that. My number 1 was The Green Room.
That was a good one. It was a good one.
I was on the edge of my seat watching that movie. I've watched it twice because it's a suspenseful movie.
It is.
It's it's kind of like Get Out. It's a different kind of horror, but it's a horrible movie, and there are horrible people in it.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I really like that a lot. It's also got a really good cast and a decent soundtrack. And then I have one honorable mention. My honorable mention is Rock and Roll Nightmare. Again, because it's just such a shitty, cheesy movie that it's fun.
Very
It's
good.
fun because it's so bad.
That's right. It is bad. Like I said, I watched it 3 times because once I saw it, I had to show it to my friends. And I'm pretty sure I was in 9th grade. So it had to be like 88, 89.
Yeah, I think I was in like junior high too. Like, and we
Yeah.
just picked it because it was like a horror movie, and it was rock and roll. Like, it's rated R. It's like, there's gonna be some titties in this
Well,
movie. We
the,
gotta
the
watch it.
cover looked great. When
Yeah.
you read the back of the VHS, like I remember, like you reading the back, and it sounded
Yeah.
like it was going to be great, and then you take it home, and it's a real shitter.
It's like that Glenn Danzig, the first one that he did.
Yes, the
It was that
Veronica.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's
awesome.
it. That's my list.
That was a fantastic top 5. We got some similarities in there, a couple different ones as we go
Yeah.
about, but yeah, very good. It always makes me think about that one episode that we lost.
Ah,
May it rest in peace.
that was probably the best episode we ever
Best
did.
episode ever. Just will never see the light of day. All right.
Like the director's cut of Event Horizon.
Exactly. Pieces lost in history forever. All right. Let's move on to our movie review for the month. Movie for the month is Studio 666, picked by me.
Yes.
Brand new movie out in theaters. Let's give it a quick once over here. So we're looking at the review of this. Studio 666, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Foo Fighters move into an Encino mansion steeped in grisly rock history to record their much-anticipated 10th album. Once in the house, Dave Grohl finds himself grappling with the supernatural forces that threaten both the completion of the album and the lives of the band itself. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give it a 57, but the audience score is 80. That just goes to show you,
There's a
if you're not a fan of the band and you're not a fan of splatter movies, you're probably not going to like this film.
Well, you got to separate the two also, right? You could be a fan of the band and just say, oh, I liked it because Foo Fighters were in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This was a tough one for me.
Yeah.
I'll say this. In general, I found it entertaining. I was thoroughly entertained by it. There were a couple of scenes that made me laugh out loud. The gore was pretty fucking impressive.
There was some good gore, for sure.
Specifically, let's say that there's going to be spoilers here because we need to talk about
yeah,
some
it's a brand new
specifics
movie.
about this.
Yeah.
Brand new movie. I'm sure many people probably didn't go see it in the theaters, so they're waiting for it on video on demand, which I don't know that is it out on video on
I
demand?
think it actually came out this week.
This week, okay.
I believe so, yeah. I think I just saw that it came out on streaming this week, but I'm not sure on what.
Yeah, I think it's let me look here. Yeah, so it's available on Amazon and Apple, but it's rental. It's not
Rental,
free
yeah.
yet. Yeah.
So if you want to see the movie, if you're a fan of the Foo Fighters, if you like, splatter, gore, pause now, wait to watch the movie, and then come back and listen to our review.
Yeah. So specifically, the scene that I was the most impressed by, and that showed me, look, the special effects weren't garbage, was the
With the chainsaw?
chainsaw sex scene.
Oh, yeah.
Holy fuck!
yeah.
First of
Yeah,
all,
that was awesome.
First of all, Whitney Cummings, fucking hot
Yeah,
as
yeah,
hell,
yeah.
and the big titties, and then
Yeah.
that fucking chainsaw right up through the bed. I was like,
Was
holy
that a body
shit.
double? Maybe it was a body double, or were they here?
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Because they just showed like up close.
Yep,
Yeah, it's true. It might have been a body
it
double.
might have been because they didn't show her tits with her face at any given time.
Nope.
So,
No.
but I'll tell you this: that scene, I was like, wow, that special effects were actually impressive.
It was a
That
cool
the best
kill
part of
scene.
the movie.
Yeah.
That was the
I
best
did
part of
enjoy
the
that kill scene, yeah.
Not only that, the end, Pat Smear and those guys at the end was fucking great. Pat got run over by the fucking van. His head got crushed. The fucking
Yeah.
speedometer wire went like through the thing into the fucking bass player's eye.
Yeah, that was like I flinched on that one because anything like that deals with your eyes, like shit like that, I'd yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I thought it was pretty entertaining. At first, it was kind of slow going at the beginning, right?
It was.
I was like,
It
man,
was
this
slow
is really
going.
fucking dragging on. But I guess
a lot slow going for me.
they're trying to like lay down the whole idea of what they're doing or whatever. But
Yeah, they were just
Yeah,
running
I
around
think
with the
that
music too much, right?
I think that was my issue with it was the pacing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of the same thing over and over. Like, and I get because they were trying to make the perfect album. I get that,
Yeah.
but it drug a little bit for me.
Well, and I think part of that is this. It was originally written as a music video, and then they stretched it into a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
They didn't have a lot of content, right? For sure.
Right. I think the pacing problems come down to content, and it really should have been a short film,
exactly.
but they decided to make it into a feature-length film. And
Craig and I said that when we were leaving the theater. I said, you know,
Yeah.
if it was like a creep show episode or like part of an anthology,
would have been fantastic.
You know,
Would have been perfectly
35 to 45 minutes.
Yes.
You know,
paced. Yes. Would have been perfectly paced. They could have got the story down. They could have got the gore down. They could have-
Yeah.
And it would have been great. It would have been like, wow, that was fucking great. But instead, they drag on at the beginning. They drag on near the middle a little bit.
oh yeah, the middle was. I looked at my watch. I did look at my watch.
Yes, so did I. So did I.
Hey, Craig fell asleep. Craig fell asleep. For
Now
30
listen,
minutes.
I don't use that as any sense of measure because every movie I've ever seen with Craig, Craig has fallen asleep. It could be one of the most action-packed,
You know what? We had a few
gore-filled
beers
films.
we had a few beers with dinner, and that's probably what puts me over
that's
the
true.
top.
That's
Listen,
true.
Craig is a busy man, and he works long hours, and he fucking runs miles and miles and miles. The guy gets fucking tired.
Yep.
You know,
Throw a beer or
my-
two into him, and he passes out.
You know what my thought is? Some of the movies that we've discussed earlier were like became cult classics, like movies you watch on a Saturday night after you're smoking a little bit or drinking a little bit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think this movie is going to be a great like. Let's throw this on Saturday night, smoke a little bit.
It definitely
or,
has
you know,
the potential for it. It definitely has the potential for
yeah,
it.
going to the theater on a full stomach after a couple beers,
No.
like it was just a hair too long for me.
I only fell asleep for like 5 minutes too. It wasn't.
So,
like
and I saw it the day after it opened. I was one of 3 people in the theater.
oh boy.
Actually, I think there was like 8 of us in the theater. I think, right, Craig?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
yeah. And that was a week after it came out. I think we saw it like
That might have been 2 weeks. Well,
2
we
weeks.
just saw it right last week.
Yeah, like last Wednesday or last
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. Again, I thought the pacing was they could have.
Yeah, so trying to just give you a little insight on this, right? So, the movie opened in 2,300 theaters. Its opening weekend, it only made $1.5 million.
Oof.
Well, you know, it's a genre piece. Like so, you're either a Foo Fighters fan or a horror fan, or you're not going to see it. You know.
Yeah, U.S. domestic, it made 2.5 million. Worldwide, it made 2.9. It made only an additional $400,000
Wow.
in international markets. And it was one of those things where word of mouth kind of helped it a little bit. Like people must have been like, "Oh yeah."
I'm gonna
we should
say
go
the
see it."
studio didn't make their money back on that one.
Yeah, I don't know that they did. But the thing is, I think the budget had to be relatively light on that.
I would think so
Yeah.
because it's basically the Foo Fighters and Whitney Cummings,
And,
right?
and they're
Like,
friends. Like you know, you had fucking Kerry King playing their roadie. You know, the guitarist
Yeah.
from Slayer was playing
Yeah,
the roadie.
and
it's not like they had big.
They already rented the house to record, right? So
Right.
it's-
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they were like, while we're here recording the album, might as well just do this fucking movie. So they already
Yeah.
had the lot, they already had the studio, they already had all the things they need. They probably already had the production crew because the guys that were doing the music video or whatever.
right?
Probably
Yeah.
did the sound
yeah,
for
let's
'em,
just
right?
make this into that. Yeah. But there were a couple guest appearances that were kind of cool because you had Kerry King from Slayer, obviously, is the roadie that
Yep.
dies at the beginning. And
He
then
gets
you
burned up.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then you also have a cameo by God damn
The
it.
chick who was the realtor, she's been in a bunch. We recognize her from
Oh,
American
yeah, from
Horror Story.
American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Les.
Who the hell is near the mid end section when they're done with their weekend long of recording?
Wasn't the food delivery guy? He was somebody too.
Yeah, but they're the sound engineer with John Carpenter.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I said that. I
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
That's John Carpenter, right? Like I
Yeah.
think that's John Carpenter.
He was the sound engineer.
Yep.
Yeah, and it sounded like his music too. Like when he was playing it, like what?
Actually,
No, it was.
he-
Yeah.
that was his music in there, and he contributed to making some of the special effects stuff. So that's kind of cool too.
Nice.
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's a good movie, and it's like if you're a rock fan or a horror fan, it's one of those. I think it'll be a cult classic. You know.
and it does the same kind of genre, the same kind of tropes as the Satanic Panic stuff, because you have a rock band, you have Satanism and some evil ritual to make the ultimate satanic song to unleash demons from hell or whatever. And I like I said, I think Dave Grohl did a great acting job in that. I think he was really good.
He was probably the better of the like some of them. Like Pat Smear was.
He was smiling a lot, like he always does.
Yeah, I was just saying they did show him and he would just smile.
Yeah,
you know?
And his delivery was kind of off too.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
except
like
for,
he was like had to be cued into his lines.
yeah. Except for at the end, like I think at the end, like when he was doing the under the truck shit, I was like, oh
Yeah.
look, Pat Smear's actually acting now.
Yeah.
But it was fucking good. It was a good thing. I was surprised to see Whitney Cummings in it. I didn't realize that she had a role in there. It was entertaining. There was some slow points in it. The gore and the special effects overall were pretty good. Now there were a couple scenes at the beginning when they showed like the demonic shit that looked really fucking cheesy. Like I was like, they didn't spend enough money on the digital effects there. But all the practical stuff that they did was pretty fucking
stuff was
impressive.
good.
Yeah. And that's something that I love and I can't knock is, effort put into practical effects. Because when it comes to those horror movies and you really want to see some kind of practical stuff, it's hard to, you think about how with all these superhero and sci-fi movies with all the blue screens and green screens and bullshit, it's hard to react to nothing.
Right.
You can get a good horror reaction when you're looking at the gore in a physical, practical effect,
Yeah.
And it was,
Will Forte was the delivery guy, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
right.
Will Forte.
That's
That was
right.
it.
That's right.
Lionel Richie.
I was like, I remember like I
Lionel
knew.
Richie popped in there too.
Yep. Lionel Richie was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Lionel Richie.
I like the Will Forte. Oh, here's my demo. Here's my demo. Oh
Yeah,
man.
he pissed Dave Grohl off.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. The music from the movie.
No, you can
I
tell
like-
like the keyboards were definitely John Carpenter keyboards too. Some of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. So the soundtrack from that movie is very interesting. So they got two soundtracks. They got the original motion picture soundtrack, and then they have a CD that has bands on it like Slayer, Motorhead, Gojira, All My Life by Dave Grohl, Tom Hawkins.
Yeah, because they were playing when they showed Kerry King. They were playing some Slayer.
I thought it was funny too when they were trying to come up with his new song and he started like playing some shit from his old stuff. He's like, yeah, no, dude.
No,
He's
we
like, you
did
wrote
that one.
that song like 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
we did that one. We did that one. But the soundtrack, here's the funny thing, right? So they have Gojira, Ghost of War by Slayer, Stone Dead Forever by Motorhead, All My Life by Dave Grohl and the guys, Everlong by Dave Grohl, and then Hello by Lionel Richie. The Best of You by Foo Fighters, another Dave Grohl song. There's a song called Eatin' Dust. The Lumberjack song by Jackal, which is from the sex scene with the she goes, I love this part. And all of a sudden the chainsaw's like up through the fucking bed and splits them both.
That
in
was
half.
cool.
I just love that scene. But I'm trying to think, like the music that we're playing was a lot like that kind of stoner doom metal, like drone metal that goes on and on. And they even made jokes about it, like saying, we were playing that for 4 hours, man. My fingers are bleeding.
Yeah, right.
But again, some of the practical effects, the death of Taylor Hawkins, the drummer, that was part. So that was part practical and part digital, and the digital part looked shitty. Like you could tell looking at it, it wasn't that fucking great. What was the?
They didn't want to go over budget.
Yeah, definitely. Same thing. The Kerry King death scene was cheesy. It wasn't very good. But again, these digital effects for all the electricity when he got shocked, his burnt up skin, that was practical, but it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, all in all, it was an entertaining movie. It's like you said, I think it has the potential for being a cult classic, being one of those things where the guys get
like a
together,
midnight movie or
smoke some
like
weed, you want to watch something funny, let's watch Studio 666.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to add it to my Blu-ray collection when it becomes available on Blu-ray. And I think it'll fit in nicely with a lot of the horror movies that I have now. because I just got that. I think I told you guys I just got that Lucifer's Daughter. So
Yeah,
and I watched that one twice so far because there's so many titties in it. But there was a couple scenes that were just fucking. It wasn't that. It's definitely a B movie. That movie's definitely a B movie. But
yeah. From the trailer, it seemed like it was kind of like B-ish, but there's some good B movies out there. You know.
yeah, the gore,
Terrifier.
the gore and stuff is good.
Terrifier.
Terrifier is one of those fucking great B movies. Yeah,
When the hell is that movie coming out? Damn it.
Terrifier 2. Who the hell
knows?
knows, man? At this point. But yeah, all in all, I think I agree with the audience rating of 80%. It's a pretty good movie. It's entertaining.
I'm probably in between the audience
Yeah.
and the critics.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
again,
me too.
I enjoyed it, but like the pacing, like it was too long for me.
I think if they do a director's cut, they should cut out 30 minutes at the beginning, and I think they'd be pretty good then.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of shit in the middle where like Dave rolls by himself trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
I'd say wait for a rental.
Yeah,
Not even for free, but I'd say rent it for $4 to $5.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't send anybody to the theaters to go see it.
No. Especially given theater prices today. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did see a couple of decent trailers though.
Yeah.
What trailers were during that movie?
There's that
Yeah,
one that's coming out, Uma. It's about the Asian lady and her
Yep.
daughter. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
That's actually, they're saying that got some bad reviews already.
Oh, did it?
Oh,
yeah.
Morbius was one of the trailers, I think, which, you know.
Yeah.
Poo poo.
There was one more that was a pretty good one, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the hell it was. Yeah, I don't remember.
Did they show X? Maybe they showed.
Yeah, it was X. X
that's
was
right.
the other one. Yeah.
That one looks like it could be pretty good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to say my rating for that one. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars.
I'm gonna go 2.5.
2.5
Again,
yeah.
I liked it. It was just a bit long for me. Like they could have cut some stuff out. It was good.
Yeah, like you said, I did look at my watch at least once during that movie.
Yep.
All right.
I did.
So I'll go 2.5 as
All
well.
right, then we'll give it a American Nightmare podcast of 2.5 stars out of 5 for Studio 666. So,
Yeah, it's not bad. It just was a little long.
little long, little bad pacing, and I think like I said before, I think it's just they didn't have enough material to quite make a feature length film, and they stretched it, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, awesome. So that concludes another episode of the American Nightmare podcast. I want to thank all of our listeners once again for listening to the American Nightmare podcast. If you have any suggestions for future podcasts or general feedback, you can email us at feedback@theamericannightmare.com, the-american-nightmare.com. You can visit us on our website, or you can visit us on Facebook. I'd also like to give credit to the opening theme music, Thor's Hammer, by Ethan Maxisel. And also want to mention that we are using Riverside.fm to record this podcast. We are a Riverside FM affiliate. If you're interested in learning more about Riverside FM, go to Riverside.fm. And I will also post a link on our Facebook and our website that if you're interested in giving us some credit, if you sign up for Riverside FM and you heard about it from us, please use that link and we will benefit from it. This podcast will benefit from that. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks again, everybody, and we will see you
Thanks.
next month.